Hi, my name is Alice. I'm going to be singing A Million Dreams. This is by Benj Pasek and Justin Paul. And I chose this song because it seemed like an appropriate one given the reality of the world we are in at present for humanity. We're coming from a very difficult past and we're facing quite an unsure future. And yet, didn't each one of you ponder at one point in this pandemic, what can I do to change things? What can I do to make things different and better and improved? So I think this song kind of speaks to that issue or that concern or that question. So A Million Dreams, then afterwards I do have a few words to share. I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. There's a house we can build. Every room inside is filled with things from far away. The special things we compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our minds. I don't care if they call us crazy. Run away to the world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. However big, however small, let me be part of it all. Share your dream with me. You may be right, you may be wrong, but say you'll take me along to the world you see, to the world I close my eyes to see. I close my eyes to see. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. For the world we're gonna make. Do you believe it? So here's my message. After our forced introspection time due to COVID, where do we go? And how do we do it? No matter where life is going to take you in this coming future, it's best, I believe, if you have a purpose and a goal. And that's the topic of my talk. After all, according to Simon Sinek, and I'm quoting from his TED Talks on the Golden Circle, Martin Luther King did not say, I have a plan. He said, I have a dream. And so let's talk about that. Let's think about goals and purposes. In TED Talks, Simon Sinek's Golden Circle, he has a diagram or a kind of a plan which starts with the why. It's a concentric circles, and the center circle is why. So I think when you talk about goals, you better figure this question out and then get to the details like the how and the what. And Les Sisney added to this by adding even more in the center, who. Who and then why and then how and then what. So I'm going to suggest that when you're thinking about who you're going to build this better future for or do this project for, it's good, of course, to think about yourself and to take care of yourself. That's crucial. But I think the larger the concentric circle goes out to others, for example, your neighborhood, your community, maybe the person right in front of you who gets your attention and says, here's a need, here's a real need. The greater the concentric circle, I think, that you care for and that you serve, the more empowered you will be. I suggest you start small, incrementally increase, and yet never forget the small and the individual needs. So let's talk about why. Well, let's go for a head and a heart reason. In the head, okay, look at what makes sense. What talents do you have? What abilities, what skills do you have? What experience do you have? What's your interest? What's your passion? It would make sense that you shouldn't just do something because it makes money. It should be something that you're capable of doing, at least. But the heart comes in here as well. And I think it's best to strive for higher purpose reasons in the why. For example, let's find a motivation that comes from a very kind place, a compassionate place. Be sure to control yourself instead of controlling others. Be patient. Be a peacemaker. Love. Wow, that's important. In as much as possible, do no harm to others as much as possible. So the head and the heart. And I think probably the heart should drive it, but you should be reasonable. Ultimately, I would say, let's do this. Why? To make the world a better place. How about that? Okay, so now in TED, Simon Sinek's TED Talks, he now goes on to the how and the what. But I like Les Sisney also does the same thing, but Sinek goes how and what. I would probably do what and then how. That's my little adjustment. So again, this goes back to the head things. What are you going to do? Well, look at your skills, look at your talents, look at your interests, your passions, your training, your education. And where is there a gap out there in the needs being met? what about that neighbor? And for all of you multitaskers out there, you can probably juggle more than one of these whats and different whos as well. Because I find that when you start to set goals and purposes, there's usually different shelf lives for these tasks or these efforts that I make: short term, medium term, long term, and anything in between. So it's kind of amazing to me, though, that as I work on these goals, these short term, long term, medium, in between things, that they tend to kind of cooperate together. Why that is, I'll leave it up to you. And then finally, we come to the how. That's the process. So make it doable, make it practical, make it creative, make it systematic. Uh, Turn your vision into a reality. Okay, so I'm going to close with some quotes just to give you a kind of interesting way to end this thing. Okay, Lawrence J. Peter wrote this: "If you don't know where you are going, you will probably end up somewhere else." Right? I also like Michelangelo. "The great danger for most of us lies not in setting our aim too high and falling short, but in setting our aim too low and achieving our mark." How about Zig Ziglar? "If you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time." And Bill Copeland: "The trouble with not having a goal is that you can spend your life running up and down the field and never score." Okay, Bear Bryant: "Never quit. It's the easiest cop out in the world. Set a goal and don't quit until you attain it. When you do attain it, set another goal and don't quit until you reach it. Never quit." And Henry Ford: "Obstacles are those frightful things you see when you take your eyes off your goal." So one other thing, goals can change. I think it's better to be a goal-oriented person, but be flexible too, because sometimes you just have to respond what comes up and you go, "Oh, wait a minute. Let's change. Let's reboot and head in this direction." Thank you all for listening. Be well and take care.